is Erica. So what we now have done is we've come up with our general ideas for solutions to this problem that we've identified. And now it's time to start to test these ideas. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to build something called a prototype. So a prototype is just a really rough representation of these ideas. The reason why we want a prototype is we don't want to waste too much time and too much money going down a certain solution path before we know whether or not people actually are excited about this solution. So we want to build something as quickly and as cheaply as possible in order to start to test these solutions. So a really good prototype is made in a really rough way and also just communicates our basic solution. So there are three types of prototypes that we're going to talk about today. There's the storyboard, the role play, and the works like feels like prototype. So a storyboard is basically just a collection of images that tells the story of what your solution looks like. So you might consider using a storyboard if you're going to create a solution that is intangible or some sort of experience. A role play is exactly what it sounds like. Basically what you do is you create some rough props. You get your team together, assign each other roles, act out what your solution might look like and what the interactions between the people might look and feel like as well. So the last type, the works like feels like, is usually for physical products, but you can use it in other places as well. And so basically you're just making a really rough representation or mock-up. This prototype will probably work like or feel like your prototype, but won't actually be the functioning thing. So if you remember from the brainstorm video, we first got together as a team, brainstormed a lot of ideas, and then selected a few ideas to move forward with into prototype. And so the two ideas that we selected were the puppy want ad and the buddy bike ride to DC. So the puppy want ad kind of answered this problem that we identified of people abandoning their bikes and people also needing bikes. And so we wanted to find some way to connect people that are about to abandon their bikes with people that actually need bikes. You might also remember that the puppy want ad is actually an analogy. So we need to bring it back to the biking world. So the want ad instead might be for the bicycle rather than for the puppy. So on the buddy bike ride to DC, that was answering the question of, well, you know, we have people like Ozzy that are really interested in biking, really enjoy biking, and are good at getting other people involved. So how do you kind of empower someone like that to get other people that wouldn't want to get on a bike onto a bike in the first place?
So we're ready to prototype, and we've enlisted the help of our friend Dean here. Alright, so we have our two ideas. So we have puppy ads, and we also have DC Buddy bike share. So which one do you guys want to focus on first to prototype?
Let's do buddy bike share.
Do buddy bike share, alright. So of the different prototyping tools that we had earlier, so we could do a storyboard, we could do works like feels like a physical prototype, or we could do a role play. Do any of these stick out to you guys that we should do?
It would be cool to do a storyboard because we could show like the sequence of events. I guess the thing I worry about though is that people wouldn't be able to interact with it. And it's about the experience of having an interaction with a buddy.
Okay. So maybe a role play?
Yeah, I've seen role play work really well before.
And maybe even a combination, because I think this idea from what we were thinking about earlier, it's like, it's a system, but it's also an experience.
Right.
So maybe we can try a physical and a role play. Let's just see how it goes.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so now that we've built our prototype, we're gonna go out and test the prototype. But before we do that, we're gonna actually rehearse the test to make sure that we know exactly what we're trying to do. So there's 4 things that we wanna keep in mind when we're testing. First of all, we're gonna wanna introduce ourselves. Second of all, we're gonna wanna set the context and actually tell the person a little bit about what we're trying to do. Then one of us is going to guide the person through the prototype. So actually hand it to them, let them interact with it, but give a little bit of guidance so that they know sort of what they're looking at or how they should be experiencing it. And then the 4th thing is we should ask them some follow-up questions and try to get some feedback. So the thing to keep in mind is test is really about going back to that gain empathy stage that we did at the very beginning. So we're just trying to learn more about our potential users and what they might want or need. And these prototypes are basically conversation pieces to help us learn more. Okay, so Minu's back and she's gonna help us rehearse how we're going to conduct our test with our new prototype. But before we begin, I just wanted to set you up We're actually going to go out and try to test this prototype on people waiting in line to get on the bus.
Okay.
And so just to give you some,
I should
scene
be
set up, that's
I should be pretending to wait for the bus.
Exactly, that's
Okay.
the role you should be playing.
Great.
Hi, do you have a minute? I think the bus is not coming for another like 15 minutes, so if you don't mind, I'd love to show you a prototype that I have.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So are you a student here on campus?
Yes.
Awesome. My name is Erica, so I work here on campus, and I have my teammate Atten with me. And we're actually trying to improve the campus biking experience. Do you ever bike on campus?
No, that's why I'm waiting for the bus.
Okay, cool. That's okay. This is exactly why we then would want to talk to you and find out what you think.
Okay, I'm Atten, and I'm going to be testing with Minu today. Now I'm Ozzy.
Hi, I'm Minu.
Hi Minu. I'm part of the Turf Bike Squad here on campus, and I wanted to talk to you about a new program we're starting called the UMD Bike Buddy Program.
Okay, what's that?
This is actually a program we're running through DOTS, the Department of Transportation Services. And so we're really trying to get more people on campus to start biking. So someone like you who doesn't really bike can work with someone like me who bikes every day. And together we can kind of help you get activated in a way that you will start biking more often and longer distances. Okay, so let me take you through what we do during the Bike Buddy program. So the first thing we would do is visit the UMD campus bike shop. So at the UMD campus bike shop, you'd be able to rent a bike. So here's your bike and a helmet, a turf helmet.
That's cute.
There you go. And so that's a rental bike for the entire semester.
I didn't even know you could rent bikes.
So now that you get acclimated to biking on campus, we can even do fun bike rides to DC. Through the program, we provide routes to DC. Go on a group ride if you want, or you can go on your own. And I can provide you the best DC biking routes.
That's kind of cool. I usually metro into DC. I think it's a cool idea, and I also think it would probably, considering the number of times I go into DC, it would probably save me money because metro is pretty expensive. But I would be concerned, honestly, about my safety.
We can start in a smaller community. So we could start right here on campus. And so what we could do is we could bike to class together. And in that way, we can kind of both understand how to bike in a very hectic community. So right here, what we have is a bike map of campus to figure out how the fastest way to get to class is.
So would we bike to each other's classes, or you would bike me to my class?
Bike to your class with you.
Oh,
so I'm your
okay.
bike buddy, so I would go with you.
Oh, it would be cool if I could learn how to safely get around on that, and maybe that would help build confidence for biking to DC. So it's free, just to confirm.
It's free, yes.
I don't need like a bike buddy payment or anything.
There's no bike buddy payment, and I'll always be just a button away. So right here is your Bike Buddy app, and so you can see, you can look at the different bike routes that are available. So these ones will be on there. You can set up a group ride, so bike with friends in the local area. If you find yourself at any point feeling unmotivated to continue biking, you can just hit that button right there, and that will contact me.
Cool. I could imagine that I would probably hit that button if it was raining outside. I like the bike with friends feature. I don't know who my friends would be for that because I'm not friends with a lot of bicyclists, but it would be cool to meet people through this.
Part of the Bike Buddy program is actually team-based biking. So even if your friends don't bike, for example, there are 3 people on my bike team so far that I've referred through the Bike Buddy program. And these are our team socks. Naturally, I'm on Team Ozzy. And so if you were part of our bike team, you could have the team socks. And we compete with other bike teams on campus and end up on this leaderboard. Naturally, we want to be number 1. So it's based on how many miles per day or per week that we all travel collectively.
Cool.
And how often we're group riding. So how tight is your group?
Oh, I love that. Like this part of what you're showing me is really cool because I'm all about like team sports. I'm really competitive, and like I said, it'd be really cool to make this like a social thing.
What did you think?
Like I thought it was cool. Kind of stressed out by the thought of like biking through DC. I just have like an image in my head of like bikers weaving in and out of traffic, that kind of like worried me a little bit.
Saving money is something that's important to you?
The money part is appealing, saving money, but then like some of the other things that came into my head were like, okay, well, is there anywhere to put my bike when I get into DC? How do I even store a bike while I'm off doing other things?
So there's logistics, how long it would
Yeah.
take, how safe it is, how safe you would be, how safe your bike would be.
Right.
You probably wouldn't know this person,
Yeah.
like you wouldn't know Ozzy or whoever else is assigned to you. How do you feel about that?
I think the main thing would be if they were DOTS certified or like DOTS trained, I would trust them a lot more because I trust DOTS.
Okay.
But in the case that I didn't feel comfortable, it would be good to be able to switch, like just in case.
Okay.